got ourselves a following graph, and we want to find which one of these options gives us an average rate of change of -4. Well, in order to figure this one out, guys, we first need to play it smart. They give you the opportunity to check which one gives you a negative slope, and to do this, let's understand what a negative slope is. If you don't remember this from middle school, a negative slope is actually a line that's going downhill. So if we were to connect these points, these x's, and get a line that's not going downhill, then could we perhaps eliminate some options? True. So let's figure this one out first. When my x is -5 and when my x is 1. When my x is -5, that's where the graph is. When my x is 1, that's where my graph is. If I were to connect those lines, would I create a line going down? Yeah. So letter A is going to stick around for now. Let's go with letter B. When my x is -1, my point is right there on the graph. When my x is +1, my point is right there. If I connect the dots, is it a line going down? Yep. Let's keep letter B. When letter C. When my x is -2, which is there on my graph. When my x is +4 and I connect them, is it a line going down? Yeah. So it looks like we're not having too much luck here, but try this and most of the time you'll be able to eliminate at least 2. When my x is -8, it's right there. When my x is 2, it's right there. Now look at this one. That is a horizontal line. It is not a line going downhill. So we can actually eliminate letter D. Now, how do we figure out the rest, guys? Simple. Now that we at least got one out of the way, we have a third chance of getting it right. Well, we're trying to find the rate of change. Do you guys remember the formula for rate of change? It's actually y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And we're going to do this until we get an answer of -4. So let's get started. When my x is -5, what's my point? When my x is -5, my point is right here. So that will be my y as 0. When my x is +1, my y is -1. So once again, that's my x1, y1, x2, y2. Let's plug them into the formula. So my y2 will be -1. There's a minus in the formula. y1 is 0 over x2 is 1 minus in the formula. There's a -5 in the x1. And what happens with a negative and a negative? They become positive. So on top, we have a -1. And at the bottom, what's 1 plus 5? It's a 6. Did we get -4 as an answer? No, we did not. This is how we know A is wrong. All right, let's do it again. I'm going to get rid of this. Let's get rid of these points. And actually, let's do, just get rid of these points right here. There we go. Now, when my x is -1, where's my graph? It's right here. So my y is 7. When my x is 1, my y is same one here, -1. Now let's plug them in. My y2 in this case is -1. There's a minus in the formula. My y1 is 7 over my x2 is 1 minus in the formula -1. Okay. So -1 minus 7 with a calculator, that will give you -8. Negative times a negative is a positive. What's 1 plus 1? That will give me a 2. And guys, what's a -8 divided by 2? That will be a -4. So we found our answer. Our answer is actually letter B. And if you did letter C just to check, you would notice that it does not give us -4 as a rate of change. And that's basically what you do. Save yourself some time by checking the points in the beginning and figuring out which one is not a negative slope. Or if they give you a positive slope, then check which one is not a line going uphill, and etc.